the leader, mission and vision and goals, leadership is continuous learning. Actually, there's 4. And then support for the head of school. So, apologize we didn't give you these in advance, but
that's okay. I'll think on my feet.
Yeah. So the inner life leader, how does the head's leadership style have an impact on the school's culture?
I mean, that's a really, I've been thinking a lot about that lately just because we've had a recent head change.
Yes.
And so thinking how do things adjust. And I think, I don't want to get like too specific because that's not, but I think, in some ways I haven't totally come to my conclusion because it's so early still. And so I think, the first year as a new head, you're kind of just taking it all in. You don't make a lot of change and you kind of lay low and let other people continue to do what they're doing.
Right? Yeah,
exactly.
Right, yeah.
So I guess I haven't seen, but I've been through 2 head changes, I guess. But the other one was like 15 years ago. So I guess I haven't seen it nearby, but I think where I perceive it is more like work ethic. And maybe that's just because it's my thing. Because, in that, or work ethic and level of excellence, I guess. I think that really sets a tone. So if a head, gets back an email or is like, I'm right here, or that kind of, it sets a tone, or the feedback you get, we have in a big event like this weekend. And if it's something like, oh, that was great. Or you were 3 minutes late here. I mean, in a productive way. I'm not saying it's even a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. I found that, that seemed a little inefficient why we had the admissions booth over here or why that kind of thing. So I feel like ahead, in some ways, different heads I think have different styles and different sizes of schools. So in a school like this, you're a little bit more, you're not getting your hands dirty as much in a way because you're more overview. So in this school, I would say too, just setting that tone, because if there's not a lot of feedback or not a lot of hands-on, then I think in a school like this, things can drift. So really just setting that tone, for excellence as well as just, work ethic. Are we all going to give 120%? Are we all going to give 70? Kind of thing. And I think that kind of sets a tone.
Great. Thank you.
The next few questions are going to be around mission, vision, and goals.
Okay.
So what multiple forms of evidence, qualitative and quantitative, can you identify that indicate the school is accomplishing its mission?
Can you read the first part again?
What multiple forms of evidence, qualitative and quantitative, can you identify that indicate the school is accomplishing its mission?
Yeah, the quantitative is difficult. And we just went through a accreditation, and we're also trying to find how do we show data that we are globally minded, or data that one place that actually probably will be a little bit of a weakness when we actually submit our accreditation, and our self-study is that we don't follow up with alumni as probably as well as we should. So how do we know we're actually setting them up for life? So the quantitative, I think in terms of where qualitative, so I'll just say, maybe I'm not answering your question, but it seems like, I just was at a lower school the department chair meeting, so I feel like I'm in a lot of different places talking to a lot of different people, and the responses always tend to be very similar in terms of, if I ask them, larger questions. And I think, for example, we have a lot of acronyms at Harker. And I really feel like people believe them. What does a good teacher do? And they'll be like, 1, 2, 3. And how do we, what are the things that we have to inculcate in all of our classes to make sure they're kind, good people, and again, acronyms again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I feel like, now whether there's, different people will feel a little bit differently maybe about them or what have you, but I feel like whether we accomplish them always at 120%, but I think everybody's rowing in the same way, and everyone feels very strongly, well, I won't say everyone, because not everyone, but most people feel very strongly that they should be done. Again, whether or not every teacher has the skills to make sure they can make sure every kid's kind, or those kind of things. But I think for the most part, I think some of the places where there's been more confusion about who we are as a mission, or as a part of our mission, has been more about who are we supposed